The FM21 cycle is near the end, but what we all want to know, is there a best Football Manager 2021 tactic? The answer may change depending who you ask. For some, the best tactic is a tactic they just prefer because of the formation or style of play, and for some, it's the best tactic that gets the very best results. In this video, we'll be testing a tactic that got the very best Football Manager results according to FM Arena, a site that tests thousands of Football Manager tactics. We're going to test the number one with Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga and also Wycombe Wanderers in the Championship, who are predicted to finish at the bottom of the league. We're going to simulate their seasons and see how good and effective this tactic really is. But before we jump into it, here's how you can watch football legally for free. OneFootball and the RDF Tactics channel have chosen to collab once again. Downloading this app would help this channel out in many ways, but why exactly should you download it? The OneFootball app is an excellent app for football fans. It's the best place to check recent news, legally watch matches, yes, for free, and you can follow your team and be notified when something major happens. It's also great to check out the latest transfer rumours, and if you're like me, you don't want to miss out on any rumours. Transfer season can be fun. Once all the league starts up as well, it's a great app to check statistics. This channel creates recreations. Using the OneFootball app helps grab vital stats, but also you will have access to team lineups before the football match starts. This is a great app if you want to follow football around the world or get the latest news just on your team. So make sure you try it out, but it does also help this channel out a lot and gives it many great opportunities to grow. So give it a go and I promise you won't regret it. This is the site that tests thousands of Football Manager tactics and the way to find the best one. So we're just going to go to tables, latest patch as well. The table below gives a good hint at what tactics are the best for Football Manager 2021. The stats in the table are on a per match basis as well. So for example, if you want to find a tactic with the most points per match, you can do that. For the highest goal difference, for the most goals scored as well. As we can see, penetration cycle is the tactic with the most goals per match, but what we want to find is the best tactic with the most points per match, which is Zaz Blue 3.0. So we're just going to use this tactic, and as you can see, it comes with some instructions as well. The formation is a 4-4-2 with shadow strikers instead of conventional forwards. When in possession, the inverted wingbacks become midfielders and the central midfielders become an attacker, working effectively as a 2-5-3. For player instructions, all players have get further forward, dribble more, shoot less often, take more risk and tackle harder, except the goalkeeper when available. Other than that, the ball playing defenders stay wider, the central midfielders move into the channels and the defensive wingers cross from the byline. There are no opponent instructions or set piece takers, and the wingers should have the same foot as their side. Feel free to change the defensive wingers for wingers or the DLP for defensive midfielder if it fits your taste, since it makes little difference as long as you keep the player instructions. Also, the tactic comes with training schedules as well as training instructions as well, so those are going to be important when you download the tactic. Make sure you actually read this before you use the tactic in your saves to make sure you get the very best out of it. The tactic also gets plenty of positive comments as well, so it must work. It really must work. And what we're going to do now is go into Football Manager, have a look at the formation, then we're going to see the tested results with Wycombe Wanderers and Borussia Mönchengladbach. So now let's go into Football Manager. So here is the tactic in Football Manager. Like said, it's a 4-4-2 but with two shadow strikers instead of the traditional strikers up top. And for the team instructions, the mentality is on positive. The attacking width is set to fairly wide, so nothing too wide, nothing too narrow. I believe I say that in nearly all of my videos now. For the approach play, we are going to be playing out from the defense. The passing directness is set to standard, but the tempo is set to extremely high, so your players aren't going to take much time on the ball. Once they receive the ball, they are going to be looking for a more progressive pass. In the final third, they are going to be sending in low crosses and trying to work the ball into the box as well. When the tactic is in transition, when the possession has been lost, the tactic is going to look to counter press to try and win the ball back as soon as possible after losing it. And when you do win the ball back, then your players are going to be looking to make their counter movements. Again, very good for counter attacking football and for progressive play as well. When the goalkeeper is in possession, he is going to try and roll it out. That's the only instruction he has. Out of possession now, your defensive shape, you are going to be using the offside trap, so your defenders are going to try and step up and catch your opponents offside, but the defensive line is set to standard. The much higher line of engagement is being used as well, so your players are going to need good stamina because the pressing intensity is also set to extremely urgent. We are going to be preventing the short goalkeeper distribution with the defensive width set to standard. Now for the player instructions, in goal we do have a sweeper keeper on the supportive duty. Both fullbacks are inverted wing backs on the supportive duty. They are instructed to take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, get further forward and tackle harder. In central defence we have two ball playing defenders. They are instructed to dribble more, shoot less often, stay wider and tackle harder. In defensive midfield, a deep line playmaker, someone that's going to dictate your tempo, but he's too instructed to dribble more and tackle harder. And in central midfielder, you got a central midfielder on the attack, someone that's going to try and join your attacks. This is a fairly attacking tactic, but he's instructed to take more risk, dribble more, shoot less often, move into the channels and tackle harder. On the flanks, we have defensive wingers, players that are instructed to kind of tackle harder and close down more on the opponent's fullbacks. They are also instructed to take more risk, cross from the byline, shoot less often and get further forward. The opposite winger has identical instructions. And lastly, as for our attacking midfielders or unconventional strikers, we have two shadow strikers, both of whom are to shoot less often and tackle harder. For the set piece as well, because there are some set piece instructions. For the attacking set piece on the right side, this is what it looks like, and for the attacking set piece on the left side, this is what it looks like. This is for corners, by the way. For the free kicks, for the attacking free kicks on the right direct, this is what it looks like. On the left as well, this is what it looks like. And lastly, for the throw-ins, for the attacking throw-ins on the right side, this is what it looks like. So we've got some long throws, and on the left side, again, fairly the same, long throws into the box. But that there wraps up the very best tactic on Football Manager according to FM Arena. Now we're going to look at the results with Borussia Mönchengladbach and Wycombe Wanderers down in the Championship. But first, let's look at Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga. Also, I forgot to shout out the author's name as well, the tactic creator's name. His name is Proton, so big shout out to him as well, and congratulations for creating this very good tactic. So, with Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga, as you can see, we won the league. We weren't expected if we check the board expectations or the media prediction. We are predicted to finish 5th, and the board just wants us to qualify for the Champions League, or the Europa League, sorry. And guess what? We exceeded both expectations. We won the league. We played 34, winning 26, drawing 7, only losing 1. Who did we lose that one against? Eintracht Frankfurt away 2-1. In the Champions League, our expectation was to reach the first knockout round minimum, and we did that, but we got knocked out by Manchester United, which is no embarrassment. But in the DFB Pokal, we managed to win that as well, beating Bayern Munich 4-1 in the final. So for Gladbach in the Bundesliga, we got some fantastic results. If we check some team stats, we got the most points per game, of course we did. We scored the most goals, 88. We didn't have the most shots for, we came 3rd in that regard, but we did have the fewest shots against. For the best pass completion, we aren't in the top 8. For the most possession, again, we aren't in the top 8, but for the most tackles won, we come in 5th with 813, and for the dribbles made, we come in third with 111. For the clean sheets, we came in joint third with 16, and for the fewest conceded, we came in second behind Bayern Munich with 21 goals conceded. Looking at the player stats, we didn't have the top goal scorer, but Hans Wolf scored 14 from attacking midfield. For the most assists, we have Jonas Hoffmann on 13, also Lars Stindl as well. For the most shots, we don't have any players in the top 8. For the most man of the match awards, we have Lars Stindl on 7. For the most key passes, nobody in the top 8. Best pass completion, again, nobody in the top 8. But for the most tackles won, we have Plea, who was our defensive winger on the left side. He completed 120 tackles. For the most dribbles made, nobody in the top 8, so it was more a team effort. And for the most clean sheets, we have Jan Sommer on 16, fewest conceded, Jan Sommer again coming second with 21. Now we can look at the schedule, look at some of the results. You can see we beat Dortmund away 2-1. We also beat Atletico Madrid at home 1-0 in the Champions League. We beat Juve 4-3 with 10 men away as well in the Champions League before beating Augsburg 6-1. We beat Juve as well, and also Atletico Madrid 3-0 away. So we are beating some big teams here. As you can see, we beat Bayern Munich as well 2-1. We did, however, lose 2-0 away to Manchester United before beating them in the second leg at home 2-1, but it wasn't enough to send us through. We drew 0-0 against Dortmund at home, and we drew 0-0 away to Bayern Munich, so it's very, very strong against the top sides, and we smashed Bayern Munich 4-1 in a DFB Pokal final. Now, if we check the team report, you can see that we were aggressive and very clinical. One of the most clinical tactics I've seen and tested on Football Manager personally. So, again, congratulations to putting on that. For the defensive efficiency, you can see that we were quiet and impenetrable but almost leaky. Nonetheless, we were quiet and quite solid defensively. How did we score most of our goals? 76 from play shots, 19 from powerful shots, and 17 from headers. When we look at the assist, 48 come from through balls, 14 from the opposition mistake, which is quite high, 16 from crosses, 10 from free kicks, and 13 from corners. Lastly, now we can look at the squad. We can see the top goal scorer, which is Hans Wolf, 18 in all competitions. Lars Stindl scored 16 in all comps, but also got 16 assists, so very important player for Borussia Mönchengladbach. And Marcus Thuram scored 13 goals, Dennis Zakaria scored 10, and we got Nico Elvedi on 10 as well. For the most creative players, Lars Stindl, as we already said, and Jonas Hoffmann is also on 14 assists. But that there wraps up Mönchengladbach's results. We are now going to look at Wycombe Wanderers, who were predicted to finish at the very bottom of the championship. So let's check their results. And here we are with Wycombe Wanderers. We finished 5th, but we won the playoffs, and now Wycombe Wanderers are now in the Premiership. Absolutely crazy. Remember, if we check, they are predicted to finish bottom. I'm saying this so many times just so you guys know how well this achievement is. Wycombe Wanderers are predicted to drop down into League One, but they are now promoted to the Premier Division. They played 46, they won 24, drawing 10, losing 12, and getting a point tally of 82. A fantastic result, a fantastic season for Wycombe. We are going to check some of the team's stats. For the most points per game, of course, Wycombe come in 5th, but for the most goals, Wycombe come in 3rd with 82. For the most shots, Wycombe are 4th with 658. For the fewest shots against, Wycombe aren't in the top 8. For the best pass completion, again, we're not in the top 8. For the most possession, again, the same. For the most tackles won, though, we are 7th with 1019. For the most dribbles made, we completed the most dribbles in the championship with 182. And for the most clean sheets, we aren't in the top 8, as well as the fewest conceded. For the player stats, we don't have any top goal scorers in the top 8. For the most assists, we do have Joe Jacobson on 10. For the most shots, nobody in the top 8. For the most man of the match awards, nobody again in the top 8. But for the most key passes, we do have Joe Jacobson on 137. For the best pass completion, nobody's there. Tackles won, nobody's there. For the dribbles made though, we do have Fred on 36 completed dribbles. I'm not going to try and pronounce his surname because I'm probably going to get it wrong. For the most clean sheets, we don't have anybody in the top 8, and for the fewest conceded, we don't have anybody in the top 8. We can have a look at the team report for the attacking efficiency. We were aggressive and clinical, but just imagine we had some better quality players, probably we would have a better conversion rate, and then we would have been more clinical or a more clinical side in the championship. But nonetheless, we were aggressive and clinical, which is always a positive. For the defensive efficiency, we were quiet, but this time we were on the leaky side. Of course, we do have some lower quality players, especially when comparing with the others in the league. We are predicted to finish bottom. So with this result, it's fairly decent. We were quite leaky, but nonetheless we were quiet, so defensively we didn't do too bad. How did Wycombe score most of their goals? 49 from play shots and 10 from powerful shots. The assist, 42 of them came from through balls, whilst 11 of them came from corners. If we look at the schedule, we can see here a few reds here. We did have a rough spell after going on a 4-match winning streak. We then went on a 5-match losing streak, but one of them was a competition as well. We ended strong, especially in the championship, but also with Wycombe, what you can do is use a cautious mentality. Halfway through the season I used attacking, but it is also recommended if you want to concede less, then use cautious mentality, which is what I went for. So if we check in January, because that's when I actually made the change from the 1st of January, so after the losing streak, we switched to cautious, and then we went on a very decent run with Wycombe Wanderers, especially at the very end in the championship playoffs, knocking out Bournemouth and then Brentford. But with the attacking mentality, you can see that we got some fairly mixed results, but cautious mentality, attacking mentality with the same tactic, it works very well. We are going to look at the squad stats. Who are the top goal scorers? We have Alex Patterson on 14 goals, Scott Cashcare on 10, and Donovan Gape on 10 as well. For the most creative players, Nick Freeman, who wasn't our player, he's away on loan, so we can't count him. We do have Joe Jacobson though, our left back, on 11 assists. Before we end this video though, we are going to look at the training schedules that you are recommended to use. And if you don't know how to import training schedules into your save, you simply just go to import schedule and then you find the schedule wherever you downloaded it. Now I pull it in my Football Manager folder in schedules, and then I also created a Zaz folder. Here we can see that we have a pre-season schedule. If we load that up and press confirm, we're just going to press save down here at the bottom right, and then that means you would never have to go to input schedule in your save again. But for the pre-season schedule, this is what it looks like. Kind of heavy, well, very heavy. And then we're going to load up the rest of them to see what they look like as well. So in season, when you have one match during the week, this is what the training schedules look like. Absolutely crazy. I haven't seen anything like it. I didn't test this out as these saves were done on holiday. But when you have one match during the week, this is what it looks like. And now when I load up the other schedule, when you have 2 matches during the week, this is what it looks like as well. So these are the training schedules that you are recommended to use along with the tactic. The tactic is created by Putting, and if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like the video. You can share this video. You can leave a comment if you have any recommendations. Also, make sure you download the OneFootball app down in the description as well. But my name is RDF. It's been a pleasure recording this video for you guys. I will speak to you soon. Stay safe and peace out.